we're going to be diving into the topic of coding is dead. And I just want to tell you up front that I don't believe that coding is dead or even remotely close to being dead. Okay. And I'm going to get into why. Okay. Because I feel like this is kind of been like a narrative. I've seen this on a lot of YouTube channels. I've been watching some of these channels for a while now. And they've all been saying, the same thing. They all follow basically the same pattern. This one channel even isn't a real person. It's like their AI clone that they made. Okay. And it actually looks pretty real for the most part. Okay. It looks real. And so cool, whatever, I guess. You're stuck in 1080p, but whatever. Anyhow, what I'm trying to tell you here is that be careful following these channels. Okay. Because these channels, they are gaslighting you, okay? Especially if you're a developer or a coder or interested in getting in coding. I have been coding, okay, since I was 10 years old. In fact, I started coding when I was 10 just because I found a computer that was given to my dad, and it was more or less a calculator. And once I started using that computer, my grades instantly improved. Now, over the years, computers have gotten way more advanced, and, computers can, with these large language models and GPTs and everything, and all these new models and reasoning models and everything that's coming out, all this hype all the time, they can write pretty good code, right? They can write actually pretty good code. But can that actually replace you as a developer? Now, it turns out it sort of just really depends. Okay. It really depends on how big the company is and, how efficient they are, whether they're trying to tighten up their budget, what's going on, right? But in all honesty, they don't really write that good of code, okay? And they also, they also don't really understand like we do, okay? Anyways, here's how I know for sure, okay? So if you go to these channels that are posting the Coding is Dead video, and you go back through their log, look at all their videos, click on their oldest video and watch some of their oldest videos, right? These people, generally the ones that I have run into, aren't developers, okay, for one. So they're probably not good at coding, okay? That's one of the things that I've noticed that they all have in common, is that none of them are really any good at coding in the first place. So they're kind of hoping that coding is dead. They're also gaslighting you. They're trying to, they're clickbaiting you in. They want you to click on their video and watch their little talk, and some of it's AI generated, and some of it's just the latest, greatest news. What did Mark Zuckerberg say? Did Mark Zuckerberg say that he's replacing mid-level engineers? Wonder why he's replacing mid-level engineers. Is that because that it's up to that level? Or is it because he's going to use his top engineers to use the generative AI, and then he's going to use his entry-level engineers to test the results and determine, the QA department? That's always the new guys, right? So he's more or less just trying to tighten up his bottom line, okay? It cannot fly solo yet, okay? It's not anywhere near that. It's probably not going to be near that for quite a while, because this thing right here, this sucker right here, is a freaking data center, okay? You have a data center up here, okay? I know people will say, well, not everybody has that, Eric. Not everybody has a data center for a brain. Yes, you do, okay? You have an ability to understand people like AI can't. Until AI can really simulate the world and 100% realism and actually try to click on things and all that. And I know, OpenAI released this thing called Operator, and it's really slow. It's slower than using the internet than the rest of us. And, nice try, guys, but I just don't feel like it's the same as a human, and why do they charge $200 a month for it? Like, really? That's how much compute you need? You need that much compute to browse the internet, $200 a month? I mean, it seems a little bit, So anyway, I'm not buying it yet. I don't believe it's true. I believe they're gaslighting us. And so the other thing is, you as a developer, be careful of the hype train, okay? Because it is going to limit you as a software engineer. It's going to limit your learning. of course, you can use AI to teach you coding. I've generated some code with AI and I've been like, I never seen that before. That was someone else's code that it stole. Okay. That's what that is. And, it can be nice and polite to us and everything. ChatGPT is really good at being polite. And I don't mind that. I really don't. I like that it's polite rather than like Siri, where she kind of like tells you off sometimes. Or, I'm sorry, I can't do that, Eric. You don't have any HomeKit accessories in your home. Yes, I know. I meant to say, hey, Google. Okay. Don't give me crap about it. But be careful following these channels because they're like narcissists, okay? They're gaslighting you into thinking that you aren't good enough, that you're not smart, that you can't write the code yourself, that you're going to be overrun by super intelligence any day now. It's going to happen. And coding is going to be destroyed and the world is going to be so amazing. Everything's going to be amazing. It's just going to be flying cars everywhere. And it's just going to be absolutely amazing, guys. I mean, it is just going to be amazing. I know it hasn't happened yet, but I know it is going to happen. That's what I'm seeing. And it is so freaking annoying. And if you put that in your brain for too long, you're not going to be writing code. Okay? You're not going to be able to focus on these problems and solving them like a human being would, right? Like, and there's something to be said. Like, have you heard the words UI and UX in the context of AI? Have you heard that at all? Because I don't hear those words anymore. I just hear AI, AI, AI. I don't hear about user experience at all. And I'm going to tell you what, AI sucks at user experience. It sucks at UI. It's good at APIs. It can build an API maybe that another program can talk to. It can give you good guidance. It can review some code and comment it for you. That's amazing. Fantastic. Let's do that. But can it build an app? And, we've seen these things with the Devon and we've seen a lot of different things like that, and different people running models locally. Yes, that's cool. I can finally run a model locally and I can build these agents. And a lot of these agents that I've seen just don't do anything really that cool. Oh yeah, sure. It can call someone and stuff. Earlier, I commented on it wasn't a developer, but I commented on an Instagram. And the comment came back to me. It sounded like something a human would say, but it came back to me in like 10 milliseconds. And I instantly knew that wasn't real. That wasn't a real person. And I unfollowed this person. So, and I mean, maybe they're winning they're getting the suckers, okay? They're getting the suckers. Are you a sucker? You're not a sucker. You don't have to be a sucker. Use AI responsibly. Use AI for things that help people. Use AI to make your products better. But don't gaslight other programmers. Don't do that. Come on, guys. Like, what is going on? Like, I feel like even Zuckerberg, like, honestly, can we really trust him? I was in the Meta Verified program recently, and my credit card expired. You had to pay for that, right? You have to pay. It's not free. At least it wasn't for me. And so I could not get it to change. I could not change my payment method. And I had to reach out. I spent hours. There was actually another instance where I accidentally logged into the wrong account and used the same phone number that was under my Meta Verified. And then I couldn't get into my Meta Verified account for 4 days. I had to submit my license, birth certificate, and my marriage certificate, and like a picture of me holding my license. And like, who knows who saw that? Maybe it was AI. I don't know. It could have been overseas. I just don't know, but it was horrible. Like, I don't think Zuckerberg knows what he's doing. I don't think he's a good developer. I think he's lost touch with reality. I mean, right here, right behind me, ironically, okay, this is just a coincidence. Right here behind me, this is a picture I took when we were in Kauai. We love Hawaii, okay? And this was a picture from Kauai. And Mark Zuckerberg, not far from here, about 5-6 miles, has secretly built a compound, which the land he kind of stole in a way. The locals aren't very happy about it, but he basically bought up all this land and he built a bunker, an underground bunker, and he feeds cows beer and macadamia nuts. Okay. I mean, whatever. That's cool. You're rich. Do whatever you want, Zuckerberg. I mean, I wish I could do that. Honestly, I love Hawaii. I would love to do that, right? But you have to be careful what you say. And some people take it out of context. Just because he was on Joe Rogan and he said that doesn't really mean that he knows everything. I mean, look at what he said about VR. He thought VR was going to just take off, and it didn't really take off, right? The same is sort of happening with AI. Every day we hear something more about AI is going to do this, AI is going to do that. And you don't really see, pay attention because you don't really see it. The same thing's going on with our government right now. Our government is making some wild changes, and they're messing with our psychology. And it just depends. If you're in that camp, fine, whatever. And if you're not, fine, whatever. I'm not political at all. Okay, I'm not. But that's similar. Okay, that's a similar thing that's happening right now in the world of social media. And this is the thing. Like you watch TikToks, you watch Reels, you get exposed to this information, and it is overload for your brain. So if we want to keep coding alive and we want apps to actually work and our users to actually have a good experience in our app, then we're going to have to, we have to watch what we feed our brains. Okay. And I recently deactivated my Facebook, and every time I see a video that talks about coding is dead, I click the dots and I say, don't recommend this channel again. Now, it depends. If it's a channel that I know puts out content that's useful, that is interesting, by all means, right? I'll still watch it. But I don't like it when it pops up on my face whenever I get onto YouTube and I'm seeing stuff that's gaslighting me as a developer, and then offering really no proof. And I know someone out there in the comments will probably be like, well, Eric, have you seen this thing or here? This is an amazing thing. I just want to ask you this then. Is it testing its code? Is it deploying it? Is it scalable? Can it do Docker containers? Can it meet with your boss? Can it go through and make a change to an already existing application written in some custom framework by me that no one's ever seen before? Can it do that without screwing up the code and bloating it up? Because that's what I've seen. I've actually sandboxed some of these things and allowed them to make code changes, and it got bloated. It got bloated, guys, and it didn't work. That's why they need they need testers. It can't fly solo, okay? And I know that we keep more and more, it's like the fastest growing technology ever, right? But, it still takes a lot of compute. They're talking about $500 billion to essentially, they think they're going to cure diseases and all this. It's hype. A lot of it's hype, and some of it's real, right? But mostly a lot of it's hype and hope. They're hoping that they're hoping that they're going to cure the need to develop. What's wrong with allowing people to be developers? And like I said in the beginning of this video, it was good for me as a kid. My grades instantly improved because I was finally challenged. I finally had something to work towards, right? And as a developer, you can always use it to learn. And you can still Google, you can still go to Stack Overflow, you can still do it the other way too. You can build AI things that do that for you. There's a lot of crazy stuff, and it's changing really fast. But just don't get sucked into it too much. It's going to be bad. It's bad for us as developers. And anyone else really who wants to get into the development space and other creative works as well. I don't know how many times I've been in Photoshop, and I use Photoshop, like this TV that's behind me. I actually Photoshopped that at one point, and it didn't do the TV right. It made a 2:1 ratio television, which was great and all. But then there's been other times where I try to get Photoshop to change something, and I mask around it, and I type the little prompt what I want, and it just will not do it. It will not do what I want. And then I spend all this time trying to get it to do what I want. And it's like, my gosh, by this time I could have went out to the internet, got a graphic from somewhere and masked that and copied and pasted it and then color graded it to look like it belonged there. And it's just, is it really faster? It's a new tool that we have. Don't get gaslit into this stuff. Anyways, be sure to like and subscribe if you like this content. I'm thinking about doing more of these kind of talking head videos where I delve into a little bit of the world's problems and try to help people, because that's really what that's what I want to do. And I'm a developer, I'm a YouTuber, and yeah, uh, that's all I got. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.